Yo.
What's up?
What you doing, son?
Nothing. Just chilling.
True.
The Woody Show.
All right, Gina Grad. What are the trending news headlines?
A lot going on, but after months of anticipation, the fight between 58-year-old former heavyweight champ Mike Tyson and 27-year-old Jake Paul is tonight.
Let's go.
Let's do
You know what I'm saying,
this.
Menace?
I'm down.
I know. I can't wait to watch it. Like
Me too.
I have the same kind of feeling. This is very nostalgic for me because I have the same kind of feeling that I used to have back in the day when Tyson was fighting. I'd get so
Holyfield.
geeked up.
Oh my
Yeah,
God,
I
it
would
was
get so
such an
geeked up just
event.
to watch the fight.
Yep.
Yeah.
On pay-per-view, so you had to have like 30
Yeah.
friends over. Well, many fans have planned to watch this because they want to see a retired legend with nearly 20 years since his last professional fight take on a former social media influencer looking to earn a little more cred in the ring. The fight will be streaming exclusively on Netflix. Tyson and Paul will weigh in at 7 p.m. Eastern tonight. And things got pretty heated last time they did that. I don't know if you guys saw the video. Tyson ended up slapping the hell out of Paul, and they had to be broken up by the people on stage. And he was wearing his little, Tyson was wearing his little,
briefs, right?
Yeah.
his little teeny tiny, tidy grayies, bikini shorts.
I'm watching a lot of these clips where, they're talking to Tyson, and I don't care that he's 60 almost. The guy is still scary.
Yeah.
Terrifying.
He
You
got
can tell
that
he's-
slap in pretty quick.
You could tell he's legit. I mean, he's well established, but legit
True.
crazy.
100% true. But
Yeah.
I will admit that I would be terrified to get into the ring with Jake Paul as well.
Oh,
Right.
for sure.
yeah,
but
yeah.
we're just normal people. We're not Mike
Sure.
Tyson.
Well, exactly. But I wouldn't underestimate him.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm underestimating him.
I don't.
Again, when it comes to Tyson, I'm underestimating him.
Against Tyson, you're saying?
Yes, exactly.
I
not
think
against Greg.
The
Yeah.
great thing is that we just don't know.
Even,
it's really
It's gonna be fun.
Who knows?
Even Jake Paul's mom at one point was asked if about Mike Tyson's power, and she's like, "Yeah, he's a very scary man. He still has all this power." And his mom even messaged him saying she won't watch Tyson punch because it scares her. Like she
I
can't watch
couldn't watch
anything.
that.
Oh,
It's not.
thanks,
Knowing that
Mom.
knowing that
Love
your
that
son-
message.
Love that support.
Well, I mean, my mom would be freaked out.
Yeah.
Of course.
Taking a hit
but
from Mike Tyson.
I'm here to do this fight. I don't need you to be saying that you're scared and
But
you're not going to watch.
Here's some stats. 31 years between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul. 47 fights Tyson had before Jake Paul was even born.
Damn.
24 years since he last fought professionally. 22 first-round stoppages in Tyson's career. The odds Paul is favored to win by, minus 235.
Oh.
3 is the number of fights that Jake Paul has had against professional boxers, where he's 2-1.
Okay.
And his only professional loss was a split decision against Tommy Fury. So a little
It'll be
some numbers, but I mean
excited.
he's getting around $40 million or something like that.
Like
Not
either
bad.
way, right?
Yeah,
Didn't Mike Tyson go bankrupt at one point?
Yes.
yeah.
And now he's
This is a
got
good way
bank
to.
again.
Yeah, he'll be
Yeah.
just fine. Well, speaking of who else will be just fine, the satire newspaper known as The Onion just won the bidding for Alex Jones's InfoWars
Yeah.
at a bankruptcy auction. The purchase was backed by families of Sandy Hook Elementary School shooting victims who Jones owes more than $1 billion with a B dollars to for calling the massacre a hoax. Now The Onion will take over the InfoWars website, social media accounts, his studio in Austin, Texas.
Like, I wonder how much they paid for
trademarks.
that.
Oh yeah. Video archive. I mean, it was, well, he still owes he owed $1 billion. So I wonder how much it takes off his tab.
Yeah,
And
I can't
don't
imagine
think
it be
that
very much.
I don't see them wanting to spend that much
I
money.
mean, it's literally at a bankruptcy auction, but I'll tell you who the big advertiser is for this. The Onion says it will be a gun violence prevention organization called Every Town for Gun Safety.
Okay, so basically it's a big charitable donation.
Pretty much. Alex Jones was not happy, but he says he's just going to move. He's just going to move to a new studio and get new websites. So he'll be okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if he'll be okay. He's got to pay all that money.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's
but
like
how
you're going
does-
to work every day for free.
Well, like I said, those people at Gawker who posted the Hulk Hogan sex tape,
Yeah.
can't do anything.
Right,
Like,
right.
bankrupt
Peter
till
That's what I
the
mean.
end of your life.
Yeah,
Yep.
right. Well, and wasn't the news that he shuffled a couple funds around, so maybe they didn't have access to everything he had. So we'll
Offshore
see what
Bitcoin.
happens.
find him
Weather
to be
weapons.
Yeah.
thoroughly annoying.
Yeah, the
Like,
voice is pretty hard.
I mean, just the voice,
The
but like
screaming.
everything about him, I just find irritating.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not, you're not getting an argument from me. Well, a new study found that popular weight loss drugs like Ozempic and Wegovy can even help curb alcoholism. The study looked at over 250,000 people with alcohol problems
Well,
and found
there's
that
another reason that Greg needs it.
I want to bathe in it.
Oh, dude, this is amazing. Found that the weight loss drugs were less likely, people who took them were less likely to be hospitalized for too much drinking. A clinical investigator says,
Hospitalized.
yeah, people go, I'm going to hit you with some numbers that might make your head spin. That these medications are very promising, but they haven't reached the point yet where they can say they definitely work. But he did add the amount of people who die because of alcohol is way bigger than opioids. And I did a little Google search and I looked it up. And according to the CDC, around 178,000 people die every year from excessive alcohol use, while 84,000 die each year from opioids. So
Is that it?
that's
84, like
but
the way that we
CDC
hear
says.
about
You think it
opioids and
was
stuff, you would
84
think,
million a
right,
day.
exactly. I'm not saying that's not a lot. It's a lot of people.
You're getting
Oh,
Narcan
yeah.
But, like,
probably every day.
Yeah. If 84, like, man,
I
I'm
would've
shocked
thought-
by that number.
I would have think it was 84,000 per state.
Right. Per
Yeah, so
day.
I mean,
My-
kind of.
Just based on like all the stuff that we hear about
Yeah.
it, hearing that number goes, that's not that big a deal.
Right.
It's not that bad.
I mean,
No, I know it's bad.
Obviously,
Yeah.
it's terrible.
Yeah,
Well,
right. I
people
know
are-
it's bad, but
their body is finding stasis and learning to live on it until they don't.
yeah.
Right.
It was so funny. I was in an event yesterday with some listeners, and when it comes to these weight loss drugs, they didn't want to know updates about you, Woody, or myself. They want to know if Greg was still keeping up
Oh,
with them.
yeah. Greg
Did
had
he
one.
only, did he only do it that one time?
Yeah,
or
he did
just
the one.
Is he still doing it?
I
I'm like, you're
wish.
concerned about Greg?
Greg's going to be just fine.
He's going to be all right. I guess they still think you're a fat cow, Greg.
I
They
did
need
fall off the
more.
wagon this week.
Okay.
Like what? You had like 2 cookies.
I had 3.
Well, let's talk about something a little more north of us. If you look up to the sky, the Pentagon and the Director of National Intelligence just released their annual report on the UFO sightings around
Nice.
town. And while the review has cases of misidentified balloons and birds and satellites, they still haven't found all the reasons behind the 700 new UFO reports that came in last year. In fact, there are about 24 that they just cannot explain. One researcher even says, these are interesting cases that with my physics and engineering background, I don't understand, and I don't know anybody else who understands.
Well, that's so redundant. There's a handful that can't be explained. That's what the U in UFO stands for.
Unexplained.
Unidentified. So if you can't identify it, it's a UFO.
It ain't a bird.
There's
it
an
ain't a-
explanation
It doesn't
for
mean
it.
there's a spaceship,
What
but
is
there
it?
is an explanation for
I mean,
it.
there is spaceships, Greg, but what I find interesting, if you look on the